Another death threat has been issued to Simon Harris and his family this week. This is the third time this week he's had death threats. This time it is in the threat of a bomb threat, multiple bomb threats. We have the article here. Of course, this is due to his Justice for Harvey letting a poor child, 9-year-old, pass away after he promised he would have a scoliosis treatment for the child within 4 months. It ended up taking 8 years or so, and the child sadly passed away. Now, I think it's directly linked with that. Of course, people are upset with Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, all the surrounding parties because of their woke, left-wing, Marxist, communist narrative and agenda that they're pushing on the Irish public. So, this is insane. This is another crazy news story. We have it here from the Urinal, the Journal. But of course, the mainstream media gives us a lot of BS, bullshit stories. Now, a lot of people were saying in my last 2 videos that I put up about his death threats, because just this week I put up 2 other videos saying that he was given threats and they were going to kidnap his children and all this kind of stuff. A lot of people said in the comments, and I got a lot of emails saying that these were just fabricated stories. These actually weren't correct. This is just made up because he wants to resign in the near future and he wants to use these sort of death threats as a ruse or whatever, as a sort of an out. He wants to get out of his position as Taoiseach. So I'm not so sure. We're going to delve into this article. It's absolutely understandable that people are insanely mad over the last few weeks of the stories that have come out against the government. It's crazy to think that people won't expect any backlash. Now, do I think you should be giving death threats to people? Absolutely not. That's crazy. But that being said, we have had no evidence of these death threats and these bomb threats. All we have is the government telling us and the mainstream media telling us. Now, for me, the mainstream media has lied to me so many times. I don't personally believe 99% of the stuff that they tell me. I'll just be perfectly honest. I don't know about the Irish public. I'm sure a lot of my viewers agree with me. They have to show me actual evidence of threats against him, text messages or something. They have to show me something. I can't just believe them, because then it's hearsay. In the court of law, if you go to court and say, well, this guy said something about me, that's just hearsay. There's no actual evidence. I want to see text messages. I want to see emails, because apparently multiple texts were sent to him saying we're going to bomb your house, etc., etc. And it's kind of crazy. I don't know. I'm not saying that it wasn't fabricated. I'm just saying, or it was fabricated. I'm just saying there's no evidence so far. So I'd love to see some evidence from the mainstream media. Just me personally, or else I don't believe it, to be perfectly honest. Now, of course, when we talk about levels of evidence and levels of threat here, it says in this article, the threats made against Harris and his family today follow 2 other reported threats made against the Taoiseach's family online. So all these threats were made online, and it's the 3rd of the type this week. And this week has been absolutely crazy. This has been one of the craziest weeks ever. This news story is from the 7th of September, 2025. Of course, I always say the date for reference. But the whole week has just been filled with death threats and crazy, allegations against him. So it says here, multiple bomb threats against the County Wicklow home of Taoiseach Simon Harris have been phoned into Garda stations today. So people are just ringing Garda stations and causing alarm. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, shouldn't we have a recording of these phone calls? I'm not really sure just hearing that there's phone calls and emails. I feel like we should have actual evidence of this, because it could be a false flag attack. It could be trying to make the far right seem like crazy. It could be a political move. Who knows? I'm not saying it is. I don't have any evidence for that. I'm just throwing out questions. We have multiple phone calls into the Gardaí stations. Why don't they release those phone calls? We don't even have the phone calls. We're just going off what they're saying. We have to trust everybody to tell us the news. I don't go on trust. I go on facts. It says here the threats were made by multiple people. They appear to have coordinated by people using messaging app. Gardaí are currently investigating the threats made against the Taoiseach's home. It is understood that Harris and his family are not present at the property, where armed Gardaí and a dog unit are on site. And like I said before, guys, for those who don't know, we have these things in Ireland called the Irish Army Rangers. Okay, they are literally the equivalent of the Navy SEALs in America. We have special forces that guard our politicians 24/7. It's not just armed Gardaí. They have literally the best of the best in the entire country protecting these people. You are not going to get within sneezing distance of Simon Harris, Micheál Martin, or else you will get shot by a sniper promptly. Like you're not getting within 20 meters of the guy. Like, so he's perfectly safe. I don't want people to think that these politicians are actually in any danger. For me, it doesn't work like that. You know, I'm a one-man guy. I come on the internet, I spout the news every single day. So do loads of other citizen journalists. I have no protection at all, except this, guys. I'm my own self. My own self is my protection. And that's how it goes. And I've got multiple threats against me, saying if they see me, they're going to slap me in person. I've actually had 2 threats on the same guy who does live streams in the country. Obviously, I'm not afraid of these threats. I went straight to the rally and confronted the guy, and he did nothing. He just shivered like a little coward, little coward bitch ass that he is. But that's it. People talk a lot of shit on the internet. When you confront people in real life, especially if they're on their own and it's just one-on-one, maybe if they're with a group of other people, they're a bit arrogant and they're fired up. They can fight you then when there's 10 of them. When there's 5 of them, they can fight you. But when it's one-on-one, it's just nothing ever is going to happen. So I don't want anyone to think that Simon Harris is in any danger. Okay? Me and other citizen journalists, we're the ones that are in danger. If we say something on the internet and you go to public, they can flip and come at you, stab you, shoot you. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? You always need to stay aware of your surroundings if you're in the Irish public now, because nowadays Ireland is not safe like it once used to be. It is completely dangerous. It is so unstable, the whole relations between people. Everyone seems to be on edge now. Everyone seems to be angry. The whole left versus right political debate has really taken over. It's gone further than just culture wars and clashes. It's very violent. It's extremist now. So, that's what we're up against in the country. So Simon Harris is going to be okay. I believe that these threats were also false. They were just to be alarmist. They were just to cause chaos, basically. It says the threats against Harris and his family today followed 2 other reported threats, both made against members of the Taoiseach's family online. On Tuesday, a woman was arrested over a serious threat made online against Harris and his family and was released without a charge. Then it says a file was prepared for the Director of Public Prosecutions and investigations remain ongoing. Meanwhile, Harris yesterday condemned vile and horrific threats made against a close family member on Friday night. In a statement issued yesterday, he said the threats to his family were deeply distressing consequences and a sinister pattern with the motivation to intimidate him from public office. Now, I think he's pulling the fast one on the people. I think he's using these threats as an out. I think he's using it to actually leave public office. I think that he wants to leave. He doesn't want to be in this position. Maybe he bit off more than he can chew. And now definitely he wants to be in a lower position or out of the public eye completely. I think that when you do such horrific stuff and you're in public, if you're not following through with things that you're going to say about justice for Harvey, that kind of stuff, you're pushing woke narratives, you're not letting people like McGregor run for office because you're blocking Fine Gael representatives to actually back him. This stuff is all communist behavior. You are going to receive backlash. You are going to receive backlash. I only receive a little bit of backlash, and I'm not in the public eye. I'm a complete nobody. And even still, people were threatening they were going to slap me and this kind of shit. And it's like, because I didn't tag their videos, but what I actually did tag their videos. So you don't know, guys, there's literally crazy crackpots out there. There's literally people with mental health conditions. They're drug addicts. You don't know the background of these people. So there is a good chance that, something bad could happen to you if you're saying crazy shit like Simon Harris does. He pushes woke narratives. He's listening to the UN, the EU. He's bringing over this mass illegal immigration to IPAS centers, human trafficking. I mean, he has completely lost the plot. I think that Simon Harris and these guys are complete traitors. I think that they've lost the plot completely in the country. I think they've completely lost the plot. But obviously, they don't deserve to have their house bombed or get bomb threats. That's not, professional. That's not how I would choose to conduct business. We can gracefully vote these people out of power as well. Okay, with the use of the internet, we are changing the public's opinion. I see it every single day. More and more people are on our side. We have so many people on our side now. It's not a joke anymore. We are going to win the political debate for sure. I have faced the rough and tumble of politics. I believe in robust debate, scrutiny, and challenge. It is a cornerstone for a democracy. I agree with that. But what I and my family have faced in recent weeks is not a political debate. It is abuse, it's intimidation, it's behavior that should never ever be treated as normal, and no one is to blame except those choosing to abuse and make threats. Yeah, the people choosing to make threats are to blame. But like I said before, if you're doing this crazy stuff, expect backlash. Expect crazy backlash. Harris travels with a significant Garda protection detail, as revealed by the Journal, and his home is protected by 24-hour armed posts, and threats are closely monitored by state intelligence services. His detail is a similar level to a sitting Taoiseach. Yeah, this is the thing I want to stress to the people, because everyone's like, oh my God, the Taoiseach or Taoiseach, they may be in danger. They are never in any danger. They literally are followed by Irish Navy SEALs. Like, they're followed by Green Berets. They're followed by flipping, what are they called? Irish Army Rangers. They're followed by literally special forces, guys that are trained to kill and trained in counterterrorism. No one is coming near the Taoiseach or Taoiseach in this country. Like, I can assure you, whether you're a member of the public, whether you're friendly or an enemy, like these guys are fine. They're perfectly fine. But like I said before, people shouldn't be making threats against people, guys. We can do stuff through the use of the internet. We can actually vote these people out of power in a professional manner. Like, it doesn't have to be, oh, I'm gonna flip and bomb your house. I'm gonna call in, the F-16 jets and bomb your house. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. We're gonna throw Molotov cocktails at your house. Like, it's just that stuff. It actually discredits the conservative and more right-leaning movement. It discredits the movement when people do that shit. So, but like I said before, I think it's a ruse that he wants to get out of power, and now he's finally has his out. He finally has a way to get out. It also could be a lie. It also could just be a fabricated story to make the far right look bad. The far right are threatening and intimidating me. The far right want to bomb my house. This kind of rhetoric that the people on the left spew is obviously not rooted in any sort of evidence. We have no evidence that people want to bomb his house. We have no evidence of anything ever. We just have to believe the mainstream media, which lie to us constantly. The mainstream media lie and create narratives constantly, every single day. Hundreds of times a day, the Irish mainstream media create narratives to lie to us and manipulate us and brainwash the Irish public. But now we're supposed to believe them on this news story? I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it's not true or whatever, but until we see some evidence of this and somebody going to jail for this, then we'll start to believe stuff. But unfortunately, multiple times I've reacted to stuff on this YouTube channel, and with the Garda stabbing, everything just looked fabricated. It just looked so fake, it was unbelievable. But I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying I want to see some evidence of this before I can 100% say that people are trying to intimidate him out of office. The last news story we have here today is from France. And I believe it was a pro-Palestine rally that blocked the road. Okay, this is obviously just a tactic used by the left. They blocked the road, they blocked these busy sort of roads to kind of cause havoc in the city. And somebody got super pissed off and they drove through this blocked road. I don't know what happened. It doesn't say any reports of who got hurt, who got killed, injured, but I'm sure multiple people got seriously hurt because it looked like the car was driving very, very fast and it wasn't slowing down. Let's watch it.
Putain, il a écrasé les gens. Putain.
Dude, that was crazy. You could actually hear people bumping off the car. You could hear like the hits of people bumping off the car. That's crazy. Now, there was nothing to see really there. There was no blood or violence or anything. But you could hear people hitting off the car, and you could see the car coming towards them. So it was a BMW right there, and he wasn't slowing down. That was crazy. So, these people are upset. People are upset with these protests every single day in London, every single day in Dublin, every Saturday. In any country in Europe, there's massive protests by the left, big protests by the right. The right normally do it the correct way. I was at a protest recently and we walked through the city and that was it. We just walked through the city. We didn't block any traffic, nothing like that. It was all up to board and well done. Whereas in these places, they sit on the road for multiple hours. They're not allowing cars to pass. People have work to do. People have lives. They have jobs to get to. They have flipping, people maybe dying in their car. They have ambulances. They need to use these roads. But these leftists, they always want to block the flipping road for some crazy reason. It's like some, geopolitical, the flipping air is warming up, the sun is hot, you know, this climate thing. The sun is hot, so let's block the road and stop cars from traveling. And it's like completely stupid stuff. So let me know your thoughts on that. I hope you enjoyed all my rhetoric today. I love you all. If you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video for just €3 per month. Help support me. We have 22 members now because the mainstream media is dead. The mainstream media will never talk about these news stories ever. So help me keep pushing back against the mainstream media. Hit the subscribe button as well. 80% of people aren't subscribed. And I'll see you all in the next one. Love you all, guys. Peace.